Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony and welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk. And today I'm talking running backs. We're doing like an old school video where I'm discussing the news, little rumors about different things. But I want to focus on running backs today because there are three main ones that could be on the trading block pretty soon. And there's two of them, and then there's one that is rumored to be cut by his team, and all three were argued to be a top 10 running back before the season started. And that teaches us a huge thing about running backs this year. We saw the rise of like the 2 to 3 running back teams. We thought the next wave was a running back who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Although it's a useful skill and it is used by a lot of teams who have 3 running backs, the three-headed monster is useful. We saw that work for the Eagles running down the stretch when it felt like everyone was getting injured. Seattle had kind of like that, but then everyone started getting injured and they had to rely on Marshawn Lynch. We see that running back depth and having multiple running backs is useful for a team. And there are 3 different guys, and I'm pretty sure I have it in the title. So those 3 are Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, and Todd Gurley. I was like, how did I already forget 3? There's only 3. I can't forget any of them. Well, Todd Gurley, right now the Rams can cut him and save $8.5 million against their cap, and especially we all know they're paying Jalen Ramsey. They're paying even Clay Matthews a lot of money. They're paying Aaron Donald a bunch of money, Jared Goff. So they may look to move on from Todd Gurley and get a couple picks because now they realize they're screwed. They are really screwed. I said you better watch out. And you can't start spending all these draft picks on things that aren't going to work out. I said you bring too many personalities into the room here. They haven't really had a lot of drama problems, but it's just like a bunch of talent. Let's get some depth. They kind of lost their depth after years and years of sucking. They had a bunch of depth. They had their Andrew Whitworths of the world, but yeah, eventually now they're just spending a lot of money and they don't really have a lot of depth of draft picks, and that's going to hurt them in the long term. So they may look to move off Todd Gurley. Let's start off. Where would Todd Gurley go? And there aren't too many spots, but a big one I think would be Miami. Now Miami is looking to bring in a new quarterback this year, probably Tua. So him and Todd Gurley can spend a lot of time in the rehab room that first year. I don't know, but yeah. So I think Miami would be a really good landing spot for Todd Gurley. He's used to the warm weather climate. He's used to being he's used to having an offensive line that isn't great. I mean, the Rams haven't really had a great offensive line, and I think he can help Tua out, help him grow because he knows the ropes a little bit. You don't really have a smart offensive coordinator right now in Miami. I'm not sure if they even know who their offensive coordinator is going to be, but I think him and Tua could light up the league next year, and Todd Gurley could have a big year next year. If you're the Miami Dolphins, maybe you trade your second round pick for Todd Gurley. He's not going to command the first round pick because he has a contract that the team has to pay. That's a pretty hefty one. The Miami Dolphins have a lot of cap space to spend on a guy like that, and they have a lot of draft picks too. I would focus in the first round if I were Miami on defense, and then have Todd Gurley. Imagine how cool that would be. Him and Tua, I think that would work really well. He returns to around where he's from, around Georgia, and I think that'd be amazing. There aren't too many teams looking for a guy like Todd Gurley right now. And plus, what the league is changing to is multiple running backs and getting a guy who the rumor is he lost a step. He's not really as fast. We were looking at entirety of last season. Why isn't he getting a lot of carries? Darrell Henderson was getting a lot of carries. I wasn't really focusing too much on the Rams, but they had a lot of backup running backs getting more carries. It was just weird last year. And once a guy loses a step, once he gets a little bit predictable, you got to move off him, and that's what the NFL is. And yeah, so Todd Gurley, probably his best landing spot is Miami, but take a look in the rest of the league. The Titans, they're going to re-sign Derrick Henry. You think Derrick Henry and Todd Gurley are going to be good? Then you have the Texans, who are already paying Duke Johnson and a bunch of other guys. The Jets, they have Le'Veon Bell. There aren't too many teams looking for running backs, and then you think that the Patriots are going to dish out a bunch of money to Todd Gurley to help Tom Brady? I'm not sure. Raiders, Josh Jacobs. Unless a position gets open out of nowhere because a player gets injured, a weird injury, I don't think there are that many landing spots. A lot of teams feel good at running back right now. And yeah, and they don't want to rehash. You can always just get a guy that's cheap but is hungrier, willing to work. And next, you have David Johnson, and it's pretty much the same story as Todd Gurley, so I won't say it, the whole story again. He could be interesting on Miami, which would be kind of interesting because Kenyon Drake ended up going to the Arizona Cardinals, and he was pretty successful out of the backfield, really fast, really versatile, fit in that air raid system with Kyler Murray. And I think that Arizona made the right decision and moving off of David Johnson, because running out of the backfield and catching is not really that important with the air raid. And plus, David Johnson kind of struggled with that eventually. He was the guy he was supposed to be the first one, 1,000 passing yards and 1,000 receiving yards as a running back. So it ended up not happening. But I think that David Johnson could be looking for a backup role in a certain location like the Steelers that have Jalen Samuels right now, and not that much else talent. They are really thin at the running back position, and especially in this division where you have a bunch of other running backs, where running is important for teams in this division in the North. I think David Johnson could be useful for Ben Roethlisberger this year, because he now has to play without Le'Veon Bell. And it's going to be a whole season. He's recovering for elbow surgery, and he's not going to want to air it out down the field all the time. He's not going to want to take those hits. So definitely David Johnson will be a fit for the Steelers. I think that he should go look to join the Steelers on a pretty cheap contract, because they have something special going on there. Get a couple, they have talent everywhere. Offensive line, wide receiver. They could get another wide receiver in the second round. That could be good. This draft has a lot of wide receiver talent. But yeah, so David Johnson to the Steelers, I think that's an ideal fit. And finally, Le'Veon Bell, I think he's staying put. Him and Adam Gase don't have the best relationship. It feels like Adam Gase doesn't want Le'Veon Bell, which may be a little bit of a fray in this locker room. But I don't think that they're going to have a team that's just like, oh, yeah, let's get Le'Veon Bell. The guy who underperformed this year, and the guy that he didn't look as good as he was in the past couple years, and we have to pay him a lot of money. That's not sexy in the NFL anymore. And again, unless a guy gets injured, maybe Devontae Freeman goes down with the Falcons and you pick him up. Maybe the Eagles, Miles Sanders goes down and you have to pick him up, because it turns out that the guy that they got from Chicago isn't good anymore, Jordan Howard, where it turns out certain things. Maybe, Seattle, Chris Carson gets injured again. But honestly, no team is really looking for a Le'Veon Bell anymore. There are a bunch of guys coming out in the draft that are way better, and you don't have to pay as much money. So, yeah, I think the Jets end up keeping Le'Veon Bell, and they fight through it. And it's useful for Sam Darnold. It's not like he sucked last year. He didn't suck. He just wasn't great. And, yeah, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, so a lot of teams are looking for backup running. Like, the backup running back isn't supposed to be a guy who can, really catch out of the backfield. Not supposed to be a superstar. It's supposed to be a guy on a cheap contract. And a lot of teams feel like they have their guy. I'm looking around the league. I'm like, which team feels like maybe the Bills? Because now Frank Gore is about to retire, or Devin Singletary's kind of short. You're not sure if you need more of a power running back. But still, I think they got TJ Yeldon. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Where are these guys going to go? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.